Good evening, stock traders, and welcome back to another edition of Stock Traders Talk Radio here on this terrific Tuesday evening, May the 15th. Filling in for STT, I'm your host tonight, Stock Sumo. Joining us on this evening's program, we have Sifakia. Good evening, Sifi.
Aloha Sumo. How you doing tonight, brother?
Oh, I'm doing marvelous. Amped up. How were the waves today? Did you get a chance to hit up the beach at all?
Nah, I didn't make it down there actually. Was doing work in the office, but the waves were small. We got a swell coming this weekend, so I'm ready to rock.
Nice. Yeah, the weather is prime up here in upstate New York. Beautiful sunny day. Looks like it's going to be nice clear skies all week, so I'm pumped about the weather here. Also, joining us on this evening's show, we have Haas. How's the weather in the Twin Cities there, Haas?
The weather in the Twin Cities is fantastic. It's been about mid-70s to low 80s for the last few days. The only thing that I hate about that is we don't have our air conditioners on yet, so it's a little bit hard for me to sleep in the warmer weather, but I'm not going to complain. It's been gorgeous. Today it's a little bit windy, but I've been inside all day too, Stiffy. Don't feel bad, man.
Good stuff. Yeah, man. It's nice weather. It's a good change. Spring is rolling by. It's going to be summer here rather soon. A little bit different here for me tonight. I'm used to hosting the morning show, so I'm going to do myself a favor and try to bite my tongue a little bit and try not to talk too much. Leave it up to you guys. I know STT does an awesome job, and they're big shoes for me to fill in tonight, so I'm going to do my best. Bear with us. Any of those listeners out there tuning into the show, if you want to give us a shout, you're more than welcome to call in. The call-in number is 347-215-7181. And since we don't have a CEO interview tonight, we're just going to go through some of the top buzzing stocks out there. And without any further ado, Haas, I'm going to let you run with it.
Actually, why don't you start us off and announce the ticker and give us some of the day's action before we get going?
There we go. Sounds like a plan. First one up is going to be TTDZ. That's Triton Distribution Systems, Inc. And we were talking about this one on the morning show. We brought up the chart. Definitely been following this one for a while. I know Cop has talked a bunch about this one. Today, it closed up 65% on a whopping 37 million shares in volume. The 3-month average volume is only 3.9 million shares. So closed at 0066. The day's range was between 004 and 008. So nice gainer there. Haas, why don't you break down the DD on this bad boy?
All right, that sounds good, buddy. I'll do my best to do it without messing with the screens too much. All right, the first thing I'm going to bring up is actually overthecountermarkets.com. And as I pull this up, I'm just going to scroll down to the company information down here. And as you see, on May 4th, 2012, they released a nice quarterly report for us. So we're definitely going to go right into that and check that out because that's going to give us the most current information on what is and also the share structure. So the first thing you want to take note of right here, right at the beginning of this thing, is it gives us a nice detailed outline of the share structure. You got 1 million shares authorized. You got 254 million shares outstanding, basically, and 141 million float. Shareholders of record 285. And they also have some preferred shares authorized here and also some preferred shares issued and outstanding. So that's the first thing I'm going to want to take note of in the financial statement. And also very important, love to read this, management's discussion and analysis or plan of operation. You start reading through this. Initially, our emphasis was on Southeast Asia and China. yada, yada, yada. They have to do with airlines, travel agencies, cruise operators. They're just talking a little bit about their market overseas. And so I'm going to scroll down and see if we can get anything juicy out of this plan of operations. And indeed we do if you scroll down a little further. Right here, in addition to these opportunities in Southeast Asia, the company decided to diversify and invest into other industries. Therefore, the company on September 7th, 2011, created a new wholly owned subsidiary, eFactor Holdings Incorporated, or EHI. And in the process, issued 4 million shares of EHI to the company. And then on September 24th, 2011, EHI entered into a share exchange agreement with eFactor Corp., a Delaware corporation, pursuant to which EHI obtained all the issued and outstanding shares of common stock of eFactor in exchange for the issuance of an aggregate of 14 million shares of EHI common stock. All right, so they're forming a subsidiary and they're bringing in eFactor Corporation into that subsidiary. So a pretty significant diversification there. And keep that in mind. We'll get back to that a little bit later, but I am going to scroll down on the financial statement and look at some brief numbers on the balance sheet. And over here we have March 31st, 2012. I don't know how clear that is. Looks like we got about total current assets of 1.4 million right there. Our total assets and current assets are basically the same. Liabilities, we got a little bit higher here at 13 million. And so, nothing too significant as far as asset to liability ratio isn't all that good, but this is also was a pink sheet stock trading around 001 at the time. So I'm not going to, make too much fuss about that right now. And then you go down here, since inception, they've had about 1.2 million in sales. But what's more important is the 3 months ended March 31st, 2012. You see that they've had 1.2 million, which is basically all of that. So they're starting to bring in some revenues now with their current plan of operations. You got cost of sales. It looks like we got a gain from operations of 874,000 in the green versus, net losses in their history here. And this is just a big debt forgiveness here, 5 million in debt forgiveness, which is also pretty significant. So their comprehensive gain over that period was $6.2 million. So that's what really started heating up this stock. That EHI Holdings was really significant. And also, they're starting to bring in revenues now. So as I go back to pink sheets here, if I can figure out where I'm at. All right, so keep in mind that quarterly report was released on May 4th. So next thing I'm going to do is on May 4th, go to DD Amanda. I'm going to pull up TTDZ on DD Amanda and look at the volume action. You see here, you see that May 4th date right here. Basically $0 volume for several, weeks or months before that. And then you have $120,000 a day. So obviously people were liking that financial statement that was put out on that day. And, it hopped from 001, it closed at 002, but huge volume, 48 million shares. It traded as high as 0039 on that day. And that's when it first came to our attention here at Sttradio. And anytime you got, that big of a spike, you're going to see some consolidation, especially if the company's not putting out more press. So it quieted down a little bit here. You see the dollar volumes traded, kind of around the $10,000 to $25,000 area, kind of settled down around that 002 area. And then just within the last couple of trading days, last Friday, you have Monday right here. You're back up into that $70,000 to $100,000 area. And today, obviously, another huge volume day, 35, 40 million shares traded and closing up again, close today at 0066. It would show that up here, but DD Amanda isn't uploaded until 9:00 p.m. Eastern time each day. But very useful tool. It's just nice to see the dollar volume spelled out and what's going on. And, you can pin that quarterly report to this May 4th date. So what is this E-Factor Holdings? Why is that so significant? To get more assessment of that, I'm going to go back to iHub. And I'm going to scroll down. I love to check the sticky posts in iHub because usually there's some really good information. Also keep in mind who's posting those sticky posts. You learn to follow some people who do some good due diligence and are going to lead you in the right direction as far as doing your due diligence. So lots of information and hype around this E-Factor. And why is this being hyped up? Well, it looks like they're going to spin this E-Factor off, and there's going to be, a dividend to shareholders, 1 share per 63 shares they currently own in TTDZ. And there's talk about this E-Factor Holdings is going to be spun off and released at $1.40 per share on the over-the-counter BB, which is also pretty significant. And, I wouldn't trust a post like this, but if you click on some of these links here, you go to NASDAQ.com, provides some good information. Company name, E-Factor Holdings Incorporated, gives you a nice website here. Company phone number. This was filed on January 3rd, 2012. Proposed symbol, not sure yet. The exchange that they're looking to list on, the over-the-counter BB right here. They're looking to list at $1.40 per share. Some information on the share structure here. And if you scroll down here, company description, click on this full description link right here. Just gives some information about Triton in general. EHI was formed in September 2011. We read about that in the May 4th filing for the company as a subsidiary of Triton Distribution Systems Incorporated. And it gives some details on, what EHI is all about. So basically, TTDZ is getting all hyped up. There's been some increasing dollar volumes. Obviously, the share price has been booming. People are speculating on how big this E-Factor Holdings Incorporated can really be. I encourage you to do more DD than we've done here, but it's a good start for your due diligence and what people are getting excited about with the stock. They're starting to bring in some revenues, and they're also diversifying with this EHI Holdings. Shareholders are expecting to get a dividend with that spinoff, and they also, on top of that, put out some press today. Launches a new exclusive global travel club, acquiring 1.5 million subscribers. So just going and checking this out, provide some details there. The active membership fee is sold at only $50 for an annual membership. That will total immediate estimated gross annual revenues of $75 million. Additionally, the company will produce sales in travel fees to the active members of approximately $25 million the first year of operations. So we're talking some huge revenues now just from this travel club, which is 100% owned by Triton Distribution Systems Incorporated. So now we're talking big revenues in addition to their diversifying with EHI Holdings. So some pretty significant stuff going on for Triton Distribution Systems right now. Ticker TTDZ, a real quiet stock that's starting to wake up with some big news. So without further ado, we need to take a look at this chart. I'm going to pass it on over to Sippy. Take it away, bud.
Cool, good stuff. Yeah, Triton, beast. First thing I like about this chart is, like Haas said, volume, volume, volume. You love to see the price per share go higher and the volume not only stick around but increase. That's what I like to see. That always makes you feel good. I like that you got your 20 and your 50 cross through that 200, which is sitting at 0.0015. So not only do you got all your moving averages below you, now you have also got a lot of candles. You've got 1, 2, 3, 4 candles to refer to before you break down that below that 200 MA. Yeah, I mean, only thing I don't like about it is you got that 0.0087 that was done differently. You can see it only had one big volume day, and then it was all downhill. Today you hit that 0.008, so a lower high doesn't mean much. Have to watch the tape on that. As for your RSI, it's in the power zone. Whoops, moving my screen there. Sorry, guys. I suck. Man. Well, I'll fix it after. You got that RSI 83.45, It's definitely looking solid. The PPO is looking good. It's up in the power zone. It's crossed through that MA overlay. Gotta love that. You got that slow stow. It's crossing through that MA overlay and through the 50 midpoint. So you're showing strength. Look forward to see where they take her tomorrow, no doubt.
Cool.
What else you got, Sumo? Sorry, my handoff sucked there. I'll get better.
Good job, guys. Yeah, I mean, we've been having some fun watching the level 2 on this thing, and we'll definitely, continue to keep it on watch list and see what she does tomorrow and days forward. Alrighty, next one up, we got Auctions International Inc. That's ticker symbol AUCI, AUCI. And nice volume today, 19.1 million shares traded. Mind you, the 3-month average is 4.8 million, so about 4 times the 3-month average volume in today's action alone. Got the daily range, 0021 to 004. Nice to see it close at the high of day at 004, up 81.82%. Haas, why don't you go ahead and break down the DD again on this bad boy?
All right, sounds good. This one, I haven't done any specific due diligence in quite some time, so I'll take you through a little quick Haas DD process. I got the iHub page up right now. I always like to start my due diligence at iHub and see if any of my good buddies are posting on the boards. The first thing I want to check out is obviously recent news and the dates of those press releases. It looks like here on October 4th, 2011, we see a press release, Auctions International and Amero International announced new software results. Clicking on that. Scroll down a little bit. Let's see what we got going on here. Auctions International Incorporated is part of its process merger with Amero International. So right away, I know there's some sort of merger going on. That the new customer service program and client software is a success. Okay. It looks like, they're giving some details related to the actual software that they're using. I don't even care about that. All I care is that there's some sort of merger going on, right? With Auctions International Incorporated and Amero International. That's all I want to know right now. So I'm going to go back to this page here, and I see on January 23rd, 2012, a couple months later, it announces the share purchase agreement with Amero International Incorporated. Let's click on that. Let's see if it's actually finished or if it's still in the process. It looks like entered into a share exchange agreement to acquire 100% of the issued and outstanding shares of Amero International. A private Manitoba-based corporation. So we got a reverse acquisition going on here. The agreement obligates both companies to complete the share exchange transaction subject to certain conditions. All right, so it's not quite done yet, but it's getting pretty close. At the closing of this formal agreement, all the shareholders of Amero will be issued 250,000 shares of Auctions for every 1 share of Amero that they hold as at the closing date. So anytime I see some sort of reverse merger or reverse acquisition going on, I want as many details about the share exchange agreement or how this purchase or acquisition process is going to take place. All right, so we know that there is a reverse acquisition. Amero International is expected to be a 100% owned acquisition by AUCI International. All right, I meant to go back. And looks like on April 19th, one more press release. They're just talking about their Bright Pearl software. I'm not going to read about that right now, but I'm going to click on the messages here, see what kind of sticky posts we got, if there's any more juicy stuff. Looks like we see the dates over here. We got OCDD, the ultimate confirmation of reverse merger. Balamadus, he's pretty good at doing some DD and finding some undiscovered stocks. I like to read any DD posts that he puts out. Let's click on that briefly. Another thing that you can do, which he did here, to confirm any sort of reverse merger, reverse acquisition, is keep an eye on the board of directors of both companies, keep an eye on the officers of both companies. He's just confirming that Amero International is indeed coming into the company here, the new find. Guess who moved to the AUCI International board? Jean-Eric Plamondon, Amero International Inc. president, has moved on to the AUSI board. So you have a member of the private company's board moving on to the AUSI board, which is very significant news. Basically confirms that the reverse merger is indeed actually happening. Let's see. Is there anyone else? Nope, that looks like about it for Belombus. And it looks like New Papa must have emailed the company, and it looks like he got an email back. That's definitely something I'm going to want to click on. Looks pretty interesting. Looks like he sent an email to John at Amero. Can you please tell me the current relationship of Amero and auctions? And his reply that he got back, and keep in mind this is just a few days ago, last Friday that he emailed him. Dr. Newman here, there will be news out early next week that will answer your question. So people are expecting news early this week. That's why it's kind of been hot over the last couple of days, Monday, Tuesday. People are expecting news related to the details of this reverse acquisition. Thanks for understanding, yeah, yada, yada. They can't give out privy information to one person emailing them. Good to know. So he sent a second note. Hopefully that is good news. Appreciate the response. In my opinion, let's see here. Oh, and the response he got, it is to be followed by more good news. In my opinion, news is coming, and that's why I added big, what? Yesterday. Oh, never mind. That's New Papa's comment there at the bottom. To be followed by more good news. So we're expecting details related to the Amero AUSI reverse acquisition process here in the next few days based on the email responses, followed by more good news right after that. All right, that's enough of iHub. Let's check out DD Amanda, see what we got going on. I typed in AUSI down here. Let's check out the dollar action over the last bit, paired up with the chart. You know, it's kind of heating up here for a little while. This one does trade relatively thin. We'll take a look at the share structure in a second here. But it was, you know, hanging around, you know, the 001 area for a while. Kind of got a bump up to the area it's trading at right now, around 004. On some slightly increasing volume, and that was related to some, you know, Amero International speculation on news, and that kind of quieted down, you know, on lower dollar volumes, even up through yesterday, and then today it kind of popped up with another 20 million volume day, so the dollar volume is going to be much bigger for today. All right, so let's go to pink sheets, see if we got any filings that came out that haven't been released through the press or normal press so far. So I'll click on news here. Looks like they released some press on April 10th, 2012. AUSI International Incorporated will become a full disclosure company as defined by over-the-counter markets. So they're working on getting uplisted on pink sheets, getting the current information as they bring in Amero International through this reverse merger process. Click on the financials links, see if anything more significant is there. It looks like we got an annual report, and that is the latest one. So I'm just going to take a little gander at that. I always like to look at the annual report if I can. Let's see. All right, let's scroll down to anything significant that catches my eye right off the bat. Yep, right here, Auctions International in the process of acquiring 100% shares in Amero International. Amero International has a short-term history of annual sales of over $2 million and intends to continue on that growth curve. So it looks like they're going to be bringing in a revenue-generating company right off the bat. So that all sounds pretty good to a shareholder or potential shareholder. Plans to invest retained earnings in the rental real estate market throughout Canada and the U.S. Let's see here. Nature of products offered. Auctions International through Amero International manufactures, distributes, and retails a variety of products ranging from collectible, precious, and semi-precious metals through to outdoor adventure items. These items are marketed exclusively via web presence using a sophisticated software platform. That was that Pearl platform that we mentioned that they recently had press on, I think back in April. So decent news there. And the last thing that I want to check out on this is obviously the share structure and the balance sheet. So it looks like as of December 31st, 2011, that's the most current they're going to give us here, 2 million authorized, 50 million outstanding, $37 million in the public float on the shareholder information. And, keep in mind that they have this $2 billion authorized here and they have the 50 million in the outstanding share count. But when they're bringing Amero in, remember that I think each shareholder in Amero gets like 200,000 shares of AUSI for each share of Amero that they hold. So the outstanding share count is going to be significantly higher when the reverse acquisition process is complete. And that's why they left so much room between the outstanding share count and authorized share count. It's not always a bad thing if you're using those extra shares for some sort of acquisition, especially if that acquisition is bringing in a company that's already has millions of dollars in revenues. Provide some information about the directors. Let's see if they provide any balance sheet info. Yep, right here. All right, so I'm going to want to look for any major debts right off the bat. We know this is basically a shell corporation because they're doing reverse acquisition. So they're not going to really have any major operations until they bring in Amero International. But, one thing I want to keep my eye on, how long has it been a shell corporation? Did they used to have operations and they tacked on a lot of debt during those operations? So it looks like our assets, 304,000, nothing too significant, nothing too damaging either. Liabilities, same thing, 251,000 it looks like. So, the assets and liabilities are basically nil right now. So this is basically just a nice clean shell company. And they're bringing in a revenue generating operation through Amero International, which is particularly enticing because people like the reverse merger place and the shell place. And the share structure is actually pretty nice right now. These are actually wrong numbers. The correct numbers were in the annual report with the 50 million outstanding. And that'll increase when they do complete this reverse acquisition. So the share structure is a little iffy at this point. We'll see. But, people are speculating this week on the news coming as stated in those emails from New Papa email in the company. So definitely got my eyes on this one. This one moves pretty thin, trades thin on the level 2 screen, and it moves up pretty easy. And people are speculating on big news with this reverse merger. So this one could definitely keep headed in the upward direction. Without further ado, I'm going to pass it over to Siffy. Let's take a look at this chart. I don't know how much you're going to get out of it, but we'll see what we can get. Take it away, bud.
All right. Well, I went and pulled up a weekly of AUCI. You can see it all started back in 2011. You had that price per share cross through that 20 MA, and then you had that 20 MA cross up through that 50. Then she traveled up. She got up through that 100 MA, had that spike up to 0.0124. That looks like that was a flash in the pan. Didn't last long. And then she came down, found her support, and that 20 never did cross back through that 50 or through that 100, which was, even though the price per share was lower, you could have went with that as an indicator that the 20 was still intact. And then you can see the rest of the tape been cruising up along there. I'm going to go ahead and call this a consolidation from 2011 until this present run on a weekly basis, going all the way from quad 5, quad 6, all the way up to 002. Anywhere in that range. It looks like she's really been bouncing in between there, up, down, basically on a, looks like quarterly basis. But now what I do like is you've got all your averages moving in the north direction. And the main thing is I like that price per share above that 200 MA at 0.004, that 200 MA at 0.022. So solid support there. Keep your eye on that 0.0052, that last swing high. We want to see get above that and not just come up. Even if it went there and touches it, that's a nice run from here. But as for the longer term investors, you want to see that run more. I do like the volume that's been associated with it. That looks good. Definitely want to see that stay coming in, if not getting higher. As for your RSI, it looks good. Always using that overlay. You can see it had a hard time getting above it. It tried a few times, and then she's finally above it. She came down. She tested the overlay and the midpoint and found the support and bounced up. Yeah, you can see the positive divergence on the PPO going all the way back to 2011. Just been steadily going. Once she got above it, the MA overlay and the midpoint, she's been hanging there. She found support and she's heading higher. I like the direction and just the way she looks. As for your slow stow, same thing. Got that positive divergence going on. She's heading in the right direction. Now we just need to get through that overlay and through that midpoint, and it is on. So good stuff. I like the chart. Been watching this one on the level 2 for a while now, so I look forward to watching tomorrow. I haven't pulled the trigger on it, just watch it, but there's so many plays out there, it's hard to find the one. But anybody that is on it already, congratulations. What a day today. What else you got there, Sumo?
Cool. All right. Next one up. We got Metasafe One Technologies Corp. Ticker symbol MFTH. That's Michael, Freddie, Tango, Harry. Today, traded 5 million shares in volume, and the 3-month average is only 1.3 million, so nice volume there. We're 4 times the 3-month average. Day's range was between 0055 and 015, which is where we closed. I like seeing stocks close at the high of day. That shows strength. Up 100%. So nice move there. Gain of 0075, closing at 015. Haas, take it away on the DD.
All right, this one was actually just brought to my attention today, so keep that in mind as I attempt to do some due diligence on this one. It did look really, really interesting just at first glance, too, so I'm still doing due diligence on this myself. As Sumo mentioned, huge day today, as the chart makes a nice little bowl formation there at the bottom. I just call it a bowl formation. I don't know if that's the actual charting term, but we'll just go with it. So the first thing that comes to mind, I'm just going to check out iHub, see if any press has been released today that would cause the interest. Looks like, we got some filings here, yada, yada. Today, May 15th, it looks like they just did something that the quarterly report's going to be submitted late. So nothing too significant. But they recently released a 10K, an annual report. Definitely going to want to check into that a little bit. That'll give us tons of information. I usually like to work my way backwards with news. I know some people like to work it the other way, but that's how I do due diligence, especially quickly. I want to know what's happening more recently and what the hype is about more recently than what happened a year ago. So, I'm just going to, get some key details from the annual report. As I always mention, I like to get current share structure. So it looks like here we have outstandings of March 29th, 2011, which is a while back, 257,000 shares.
Million?
Or million shares, yeah. No, never mind. Sorry, I was distracted by my other computer screen, just making sure everyone can see the sheet okay. All right, so scrolling down, yada, yada, a bunch of bull crap about the history of the company that I really don't care about, especially when I'm doing quick due diligence. Obviously, they're some sort of medical company. Scrolling down. Recent sales of unregistered securities. So this is one thing that I like to look for in financial statements, convertible shares, preferred shares, different things like that. How is this company raising their funds, right? All right, so it looks like throughout 2011, they were issuing some shares. And, all these pink sheet companies issue shares. All these pink sheet companies dilute. Big board companies issue shares. Big board companies dilute. The companies have to raise money somehow, but it all comes down to the supply-demand equation, as Kopp always likes to point out. If they're issuing shares faster than people want to accumulate the stock's going to go down. And if it's the buying interest and news and, expansion of company operations up to spark enough buying to, buy out all the dilution and increase investor interest, then, the stock price will keep going up. So throughout 2011, they're raising a little bit of cash. It's a pink sheet company, nothing too significant. Scrolling down. Just some details of the plan of operations here. liquidity and capital resources. Looks like some more convertible promissory notes, so they're raising more money. So far I'm not liking how they're raising money here, but you know, these companies do this at times, and it looks like it was all throughout 2011. I don't see anything throughout 2012 so far, but this is a annual report for 2011, so that makes complete sense, doesn't it? Scrolling down to the balance sheet, as of December 31st, 2011, right here, we see assets, basically nothing. Liabilities, also basically nothing. 500 million authorized, 91 million shares issued and outstanding as of the end of 2011. So 500 million authorized, 90 million outstanding is what I'm seeing right off the bat here. Liabilities and assets, basically nothing. We have no revenues being generated right now. Minimal overhead costs, but you know, you got a net loss here, loss from operations. So you know, you got to pay your employees, you got to pay people, travel expenses, to all this other stuff. But all right, so you know, not a whole lot going on this financial statement. We noted the convertibles, they're raising some money. Other than that, a fairly clean balance sheet. But a key note, they're not bringing any revenues yet. So let's go check out some of the more recent news before this 10K was actually released, because there's definitely something going on. There's some accumulation going on. I'm checking out more recent news. Looks like they recently, on March 12th, 2012, signed a marketing and distribution agreement with Health Product Carrier. So I'm going to click on that. All right, some good stuff. Oh, that's just a beautiful chart right there. It's kind of opening up. Looks like it's got some room. But Sif, you'll get to that later. Anyways, MediSafe One Technologies Corporation, a developer of patented technologies that physically prevent unauthorized administration of prescription medications, announced today the company has signed a distribution agreement with Natural Dream Laboratories Company Limited. I actually remember going over this news on the morning show. For MediSafe One to carry a wide range of health-related products in the Natural Dream Laboratories company product line. So, you know, they're forming a partnership distribution agreement with this healthcare carrier. So they're going to start generating some revenues with their little product there. So I'm going to go check out even more recent news than that. And very significant, back on February 13th, 2012, we have MediSafe One Technologies to start the $1 million stock repurchase program of 10 million shares up to 10 cents per share. So very significant news. Any shareholder, doesn't matter who you are, is going to look at that as super positive. I know I love to hear share buybacks with the companies I'm involved with. Looks like under the program approved by the board of directors already, MediSafe One Technologies is authorized to repurchase up to 10 million of its outstanding shares. Remember, we have a 90 million share count right now, so 10 million shares is a big chunk of that, during the next 12 months at a price up to 10 cents per share on the open market. It doesn't mean they're going to buy it up to 10 cents. It means they can purchase these shares as high as 10 cents. If it's 11 cents, they're not going to do any more buyback. By conducting privately negotiated transactions depending on current market conditions and other factors. So very shareholder-friendly press release there. I'm going to check the chart back around that date, February 13th. Looks like right here. Yeah, it didn't cause all that much action in the stock, which kind of surprised me. That's pretty significant news. It must have been mentioned in a previous press release that caused a spike before that, but yeah, they actually announced it back in January. That was just an update on that, looks like. So good stuff there. Anyways, it looks like they're acquiring some life-saving medical technologies, which is what this marketing and distribution agreement is for. So some pretty significant news there for MFTH. There's nothing really else too major that I want to go over with the company. You know, they're doing the share buyback. Obviously, shareholders are all hyped about that. And also their distribution agreement that they just announced, which was announced, recently, just this Monday, a day ago, if that's correct. So good. No, that's back in March. I'm sorry. Yeah. All right. So maybe the buying today is part of the share buyback program. It's heating up a little bit. But DD Amanda, it's been pretty quiet over the last few days. If you take a look here, MFTH, you got some $2,000-$3,000 days all the way back to back in March and stuff. So someone got interested today, and the stock seems to be moving pretty easy. So I would fully anticipate something pretty big coming in the future as far as news or some sort of group loading going on. I'm not sure exactly what yet, but I definitely got my eyes on it with the spike today. Why don't we get into the chart and get me to stop babbling about this company as I do my due diligence on the fly? Hit it, Siffy.
Hey, you're doing good, Haas. Yeah, Haas Hunch freak. I gotta say, 10 cents sounds good to me. What's that, a 10 bagger? Boom. But until we get there, I guess we better just stick at this 0.015 where she's at now. But at least she's above that 200 MA. You can see back, she hit it at 0.036, 0.028, and came crashing down. Like Haas said, round and bottom, quarter pipe, cup and handle, whatever you want to call it. I call this smoking hot. You can see the volume just come flooding in over the last few days. And like we always talk about, look at that last candle and the volume to back it up. There were some real buyers here today. Wish I could have caught this one on level 2 to see exactly how they were buying it. If it was thin or chunks. Chunks would probably be more likely the company like Haas just mentioned there. But hey, above that 200 MA, let's get that 20 up through that 50, through that 100, and through that 200, and then it's really on. But yeah, you got moving averages below you, and it's looking good. You can see you're above that, or you're right at that 0.0155 old swing high. We didn't go up to it today. Keep your eyes on that. You can see that back in February, late February, before she really fell off that cliff and broke below that 50. So keep your eye on that. That 200 and that 50, that's going to be key. If it was to break below that, she might be done. You know how that goes. Of course, this is a daily chart. You're going to have to play it accordingly on a shorter term if you're day trading. You know how I am with pennies. None of these are investments in my book, but could be one hell of a trade, which it looks like it is so far. The RSI is cracking at 85.25. That PPO crossed through. Perfect indicator there. You can see that came through. It's through the positive. Slow stow. It's a little high, up at 100. Good God. Haven't seen that in a while. But whatever is happening here, it looks like people are having fun. Definitely good to have on the watch list. What else you got there, Sumo?
All right. Next one up. Well, hold up. We got a caller here. Let's see who this is. Hello, caller. You're live with STT Radio.
Live with STT Radio, huh?
Hey, look who it is. Cop Daddy.
You guys are having me on hold for like 20 minutes.
Yeah, you put your hand up.
Special treatment.
You guys, you didn't want me to join the show? Is that what's going on?
Well, we're rolling right now. You're gonna cause some dead air here. I mean, we got things down to a science. We're dialed in. Got a couple more tickers to run through.
Nah, Cop, you're welcome anytime, buddy.
I got a bunch of alerts from all kinds of people saying Haas is now taking your job and STT fired you.
That's about right, man.
Is there any truth to that?
No,
you're just on a hiatus.
I don't want to ruin your vacation, buddy. No, there's no truth to that.
Yeah. No, that was pretty good. I especially like the line where, hey, can you stop me from babbling about this stock and do the chart? That was awesome.
Hey, man, sometimes,
Oh,
good.
Awesome. We're having
Oh,
fun.
guys
This is
are
great.
killing it out there. I got to tell you, it sounds really good.
Well, we're enjoying it. That's for sure.
What have you been up to, man?
Well, I'm actually I'm utilizing your tax dollars to the most efficient means possible.
Okay.
So you guys are actually having me work late. We just got in.
Oh, wow. Wow.
Cool.
Good stuff, though. Well,
All right, we got
keep going, guys. You guys are rolling. I just wanted to call in and say hello and find out if I had a job tomorrow.
Oh, you got a job, man.
We'll pass you the torch, and then one of us other guys can get the night off.
Hey, Cop, I got one question.
Awesome. Yeah.
You're still free, right?
Am I what?
You're still free? Like free? We don't have to pay you?
Yeah, pretty much.
Well, then you still got a job.
Oh, perfect. Isn't that how that works? The STT doesn't pay very well, but for some reason he just twists the arm. I don't know what that's all about, but he's able to do it. Well, you guys sound great. You're charging along. Those charts are killing it, man. I'm watching the whole thing, and it's amazing, absolutely amazing. The capability that STT's bringing. And
you're gonna love the next one, man.
Hoss.
What up?
Filings? You're doing filings and nailing them? Seriously? Have you been sandbagging on me?
Sandbagging on you? I could always do the filings, buddy. I'm not quite as good as you are, but that's the first thing I look at with any company, man.
Well, I
always
assure you that you're going to be doing filings a lot more than just tonight, man.
Crap.
You're doing real good with them, man. Real
crap.
Good.
Crap.
Yeah, the cat's out of the bag now, just so you
know. It's hard to go over filings when you can't give a visual to the listeners, but now that we're able to do that, we can knock this out of the park, man. So it's fun going through.
Absolutely. Yeah. Yeah, I'm right now I'm going to create some little snippets of some of the stuff that you say when you're doing it. It's awesome. Absolutely awesome. Zero assets, nothing else to really talk about.
Yep. I like to babble, man.
All right,
I'm sorry.
guys, you guys get back. Keep killing it. You guys sound really good.
Take care, bud.
Thanks a lot. Take care. Enjoy the rest of your trip. All right. Let's jump right into the next one. We got a couple left. Got about 10, 12 minutes left in the show. So next one up, we'll head on over to the Buzz Cloud. What's next buzzing? We got FITX. Creative Edge Nutrition Inc. Not much of a price movement today. Traded in a tight channel between 0051 and 0058. Traded 2.57 million shares. The 3-month average is 790,000. And it closed at the high of day, 0058. That's a gain of just about 4% on the day. Haas, run with it.
All right, buddy. This is one that we recall here at STT Radio. I remember chatting with Cop about it before this name change actually occurred. It used to be, I think, LBGE. I got it up on iHub here first. Creative Edge Nutrition, FITX. So obviously something to do with nutrition, which is right up my alley, nutrition science student. So I'm interested right off the bat. And as you see, on May 2nd, 2012, earlier this month, FINRA approves Laufer Bridge Enterprises Incorporated name change to Creative Edge Nutrition Incorporated. So change in business focus, name change, ticker change, the whole shebang. So Laufer Bridge Enterprises Incorporated announced today the shareholders and board approved the name change to Creative Edge Nutrition. Concurrent with this name change, Creative Edge Nutrition has changed its stock ticker symbol to from LBGE, to FITX. Bill Shaban, Creative Edge Nutrition CEO. Sorry about all these pop-ups. iHub's getting quite annoying with them. The name change symbolizes its new identity of the company, and we plan to grow the company through our strategic marketing and acquisitions. This will reduce complexity, provide one point of reference, and build greater awareness of our business. So it looks like we got a website for Creative Edge Nutrition. So I'm definitely going to go check that out. Anytime you have a nutrition website or any company website, you want to go check it out. Let's make sure it looks good, right? So right off the bat, okay, some general graphics. Let's enter the site here, see what we got going on. All right, so, we got all the, the about products. Chia, looks like they're big into chia. Nice little nutraceutical there. Where to buy, community plans, Team Synergy, investors. Let's check out what kind of products they got. Oh, I tried to click on it. Weight and energy products. Here we go. Scroll down a little bit. All right, so they got some metabolic products for weight loss there. Anytime I'm checking out a site, you want to see all the products, especially when you're dealing with a nutrition-based company. See how many products they have to offer. And believe it or not, I could have sworn I've seen some of these products in some of the nutrition stores. I don't know if you can comment on that at all, Sumo. I know you do some of the whey protein and stuff too, which I definitely do. I've never tried any of these products, but have you seen any of these?
No, I haven't.
Could have sworn I saw the Synergy product line somewhere. Maybe I'm making that up. I might be making that up. But they definitely got some cool products, all these nutrition-related terms. But it looks like they got a pretty wide array of nutrition-related products. They even have some apparel to match. They have nutrition plans that you can click on, and they give you some nutrition tips related to building muscle or weight loss or whatever you want to do. They give diet outlines, so they obviously have some sort of nutrition person or personal trainer on board, giving them that information. Supplement plans for their products and workout plans as well, it looks like. So actually a pretty cool site, to tell you the truth, with some good information. So I'd encourage you to go check that out if you're checking out this company for sure. So they're bringing in Creative Edge Nutrition, complete change in business focus. Let's see what more recent news we have. Creative Edge Nutrition Incorporated strategic developments on May 8th. And I'm going to kind of hurry up here because I know we're running out of time. This will probably be the last ticker that we cover here. Strategic developments, give some information on their business and marketing plans. Let's see here, strategic corporate website, related to their change in business focus, which we just took a brief look at. I'm sure it'll be updated and improved in the near future here. Doesn't look like too many details in that press release there, but just some general strategic developments for the company. And then today, 4 hours ago, a reason for some of the accumulation today and a slight bump in share price, acquisition of Science Defined Nutrition. So let's check that out, see if it gives any juicy details. Creative Edge Nutrition Incorporated, nutritional supplement company focusing on active lifestyles, announced today that it has completed the acquisition of Science Defined Nutrition, a health supplement development company. Under the terms of the deal, Creative Edge Nutrition Incorporated acquired SDN's assets, manufacturing and distribution agreements, and intellectual properties. So a nice little acquisition there for Creative Edge Nutrition. And I believe I remember some athletes getting involved with the Synergy brand, so I'm going to go check out the FitX messages and check some sticky posts. See if I can't get some more information on those. Mac Diver really likes to post every single link related to any company ever, and he's on all the hot boards. So if you ever need a link to anything related to FitX, go check out that link right there by Mac Diver, because he loves to do that. Provides some good information in the process. So this is related to that name change we already looked at. Strategic developments, completes acquisition of Science. Looks like those are all news related. Could have sworn I saw something related to, let's check the intro here. Let's check the iBox. Synergy Nutrition. We got all these cool products. Self Street Media. We'll confirm that on Pink Sheets in a second. Yep, NBA All-Star event right here. Creative Edge Nutrition Incorporated, traded under LBGE. This is a while back. Sponsor in a basketball event for children at the recent NBA All-Star Games. Former CEO of LBGE put together this event during NBA All-Star Weekend in Orlando, Florida, held in NBA City inside Universal Studios. The event was called Flying Buddha Slam Jam, hosted by NBA star
Thank you for using Blog Talk
Javale
Radio.
McGee.
Goodbye.
What the heck just happened, boys? Are we still in the air?
You're still on the air.
We're live.
Oh,
You are live, Haas.
I had
Don't
it.
stop now.
I had some random lady with a European accent talking to me, telling me that we were off the air. So I apologize for that little interruption there.
Oh, they heard her.
So we're talking about NBA All-Star event for Creative Edge Nutrition is a sponsor for this event a while back, involved with some NBA All-Stars. So pretty significant news there. And see right here, to see photos, go to this link right here. This is what I was looking at earlier, I think. They have a little article here. And as you see in the background here, see if we can get these photos in sync here. It's kind of hard to see, but this banner back here is a Synergy brand. And so that's for this specific company. That's the product line for this company, involved in that NBA All-Star event as a sponsor. So some pretty cool stuff right there. Automatically have celebrity status for the company. And, you know, we are running out of time, 4 minutes, and I definitely want to get a little assessment of this chart. So I'm just going to go to the company info, see if we can get a share structure for this guy. Looks like as of March area 2012, outstanding 450 million shares. Float significantly less in that March area at 42.7 million. So I'm assuming, you know, either insiders hold a bunch or there were a bunch of shares, 400 million or so worth involved in this acquisition of Creative Edge Nutrition. Either they're restricted or they're not. I would look through this May 9th, 2012 quarterly report, which might give more details on that. But I'm not going to, because I want to hand it over to Siffy quick to do the chart and wrap up the show here. But definitely go do your due diligence on this one. It's kind of been quiet because it's a relatively new company with that name change and change in business focus. But I think this is going to be a pretty cool nutrition company coming into light in the near future, and I expect them to put out tons more news in the near future. So keep your eyes on it. Siffy, take it away with the chart, bud.
All right, thanks, Haas. So you can see on this chart here, this thing has been consolidating for quite a long time. It's been stuck. You can see a lot of the 0044, 0046, 0045s. You can see 2535. So let's just call it 4, all the way up to that. Let's just call it 9. You got that 0099, 0085. You got that 1 day where you spiked all the way up to 0.02. That looks like didn't stay there very long. But yeah, big volume today. But the stock is just stuck in this channel. You're below your 20, you're below your 50, you're below your 200, you're below your 100. So this thing's got to get up through that. Just looking at the chart, if it moved up to a penny from here, I'd be taking my 40%, but that's just me. Let's go ahead and look at the RSI here. Now, of course, it could break above this channel, and then you get yourself a breakout, but that's another story. As for your RSI, you can see you're below that 58 MA overlay and also the midpoint. PPO is crossed below. It's heading lower. We want to see that head north and get back up. The slow stow is all the way down at 7.10, so a lot of weakness going on there, even though the stock moved up a little bit today. We want to see that cross through, head north, get through that overlay and through that midpoint, and head towards the 80s, right? That's what we want to see. So, yep, good stuff. But the chart really don't show much. Let's just for the fun, we won't look at a weekly. Stick to the daily. Watch the level 2. See what kind of news is going on, and if nothing else, just harass Haas, right?
I agree, man. Well, another thing to keep in mind, I didn't get the chance to pull up DD Amanda, but it's basically been no volume forever. And then today, you start getting that volume, so it's hard to do a chart. But as always, you kill it anyways, bud. That's all I got.
Kill it. We're going to do another tickers. Sumo, you got something else for us, or are we wrapping it?
Yeah, if we want to do one more, we could do one more. I don't mind.
We got time for one more?
Yeah, we could do another one. I personally think we should do another one because we talked about this one in the morning. MSVS. We'll do one more, and then we'll wrap it up.
Sounds good.
But this one was interesting, right, Haas? We caught this one. And Siffy caught it also. We all caught it. It was on the scanner, trading big volume right out of the gate early in the morning. And it was like 0005 by 0006 when we first caught it. Ended up closing at 0006. but it ended up hitting a high of 0008. So nice daily range on 62 million shares traded in volume. So big volume on the day. The 3-month average is only 3 million shares. And this is Micron Enviro Systems Inc., MSVS. Do you ever remember this ticker symbol being MESV?
Me?
Yeah.
Oh man, I'm not even sure.
I thought I might have traded this thing a while back. Maybe they did a
Yeah.
reverse and they changed the symbols to MSVS. But nevertheless, I'm not sure. I could be wrong. But Haas, what do you got for DD on this one?
All right, let's check into some stuff, man. Obviously, first thing I'm going to pull up is iHub because that seems to be where the buzz is, at least for the time being. Huge volume, up big. Suma already mentioned that stuff. No news articles, so I'm going to go check the messages, see if anyone posted anything in the sticky post of significant interest, see what sort of names are posting, which, you know, as Cop always says, and we always say here at STT Radio, the names posting, you kind of learn who to trust. You learn who gets into the big plays early. You kind of learn who's in the know and knows how to do their due diligence. Anyways, first thing I'm going to notice here is I see 2 new sticky posts up today on May 15th, over-the-counter scooter and the pink lawyer involved with 10 megas. So MSVS news out on May 15th, 2012. So there was some sort of news release that wasn't released through the iHub wire systems, but it was released somewhere. It looks like Micron targets Britannia Mining for global strategic partnership. Micro Enviro Systems Incorporated, ticker MSVS, an emerging mining company, announced today that management has targeted the United Kingdom's Britannia Mining for a strategic relationship in an effort to enhance Micron's drilling capabilities, overall output, and global reach. We are determined to build shareholder value and grow the company dramatically by creating a strategic venture with an international outfit that is well positioned and well funded. So all good stuff right there. Some news out of the blue related to some mining operations there and some sort of deal in the works with Britannia Mining out of the United Kingdom, which seems to be well positioned and well funded. All right, so that's some big news, especially since the company has obviously been very quiet over the recent past. So out of the blue, this one's getting some juice. And it looks like the pink lawyer post in here that the share structure right now, you know, posted. We'll check this out on Pink Sheets in a second. But you see the outstanding share count is basically equivalent right now to the authorized share count. Why is that significant? That limits the dilution capabilities of the company. When you have a maxed out, you know, OSAS, they can't really dilute. And it looks like the float's sitting here at 1.52 billion shares. So, you know, anytime you have a 000 stock, most of the time you're going to have billions in the outstanding share count. So, you know, that doesn't like jump out at me as super negative, especially considering they can't dilute their stock too much right now. Moving over to Pink Sheets, you know, you see the same type of stuff. This April 9th, 2012 report, that's going to say the exact same thing. And I might actually look at that in a second, see if we can get some details out. I know I was hurrying through FitX, but we decided to do another company, and I'm glad we did because this company is definitely going to heat up here, it looks like. All right, so DD Amanda, I'm going to check that real quick. MSVS, Pink Sheet current company. Looking at recent volume history, pulling this over here. Look at this. Nothing for ages in the dollar volume column. So this company's been quiet for a really long time, and then they released news related to, you know, a big deal with Britannia Mining. I mean, come on, of course this thing's going to go nuts today. Just over the last few days, we've had some slightly increasing dollar volume, $30,000 worth last Thursday, then a couple of quieter days. 5,000, 3,000. But today was obviously the big. I'm interested to see how high this one goes, but moved pretty easy. What was the high day? Let's see if we can pull this baby
Trip
up.
8.
Trip 8 was the high day. Okay. So closing near the high day, not bad. On the first day of action, let's go to Pink Sheets. And what I want to do, it's over-the-counter pink current, so there's been some filings out recently. There had to have to keep it current. Looks like here in April we got an annual report. We got attorney letter with respect to current information, so they're getting their filings up to date. On the quiet, weren't really some press related to it throughout April. Now they're an over-the-counter pink current information, and I love that change from either limited status or no info to pink current info, because then the company's going to start talking. They're going to start releasing news, or there's some deal in the works, especially when this company has been quiet for so long. So even as early as back in April, people should have been suspecting that something big is going to come, and that news today confirms it. So the last thing I want to check out is actually this annual report, see if we can get anything out of it. Other than the news we got today, the deal with Britannia Mining. So let's scroll down this a little bit here. All right, so it looks like we just got some share structure info here. It's the outstanding share count has been slightly increasing a little bit since the end of 2009, but the authorized share count remaining the same right here. Total number of shareholders basically the same. Free trading common shares slightly increasing, not too much though. So share structure has basically been staying the same over the last few years. Looks like they did some splits in the past, back in 2008, 2009, before they went on the quiet. I want some more recent stuff. Come on, come on. Yeah, this is all old stuff. Looks like Micron currently has 100% of 6 gold claims in the Whitehorse mining district of Yukon, Canada. Each claim is approximately 50 acres for a total of 300 acres. Permits expire in June of 2012, unless pending minimum work is completed in the property. So in the near future, we might be seeing some news related to those permits and those gold claims in the Whitehorse mining district of Yukon, Canada, related to their gold claims. So that's pretty significant. Keep an eye out for that news. And who knows, maybe that new deal with that significantly funded Britannia Mining might provide some funding for those operations. Or they'll get an extension on their lease permits. Yeah, I'm not seeing anything else too significant right now. I definitely want to get a brief glance at the balance sheet if I can. So I'm going to scroll down there real fast. Ooh, I don't know if you guys have heard of Kinross Gold Exploration. That company went nuts. They found some significant gold up in the Yukon claims up in Canada. Their company feels that as this property located in close proximity to the Kinross Gold Exploration Project, these gold claims give the company the best opportunity given the price of gold and the amount of funding needed. The company plans to start the initial phase of the project in the current year. So they're going to start the initial phase of exploring these 6 gold claims that I just mentioned from up above in the current year. So definitely expect news related to some exploration on these gold claims in the near future now, because they basically blatantly state that's exactly what they're going to do right here. This is why I love reading 10Qs. You find stuff that's not necessarily coming out in press releases. So I would expect this company to start talking in the near future here for sure. In addition to that news they put out today, let's get a brief glance at the balance sheet before we look at the chart, which is basically going to be nothing. Assets, they have their gold claims, but there's really no value on those gold claims right now if they haven't found any gold. So, current assets, nothing. Total assets, 80,000. Liabilities, 475,000, basically nothing. They just confirm the share structure there. Accumulated deficit, that's also something to keep a note of. They have 11 million accumulated deficit over, several years. But sometimes that's actually good with some of these mining companies. You have net operating loss carry forwards. They're abbreviated NOLs. And what that helps with is, with tax issues, you can defer taxes and use those to your advantage in that sense. So you can screw the government, which is awesome when you're a company and you don't have as many funds as you'd like to have to carry out your operations. All right, that's all we're going to get out of this sucker. They're not bringing any revenues now. They're in the exploration phase. Smaller mining company, and I would expect news on the start of their exploration on their little 6 Yukon properties sitting right next to Kinross Gold. So I'm sure there's going to be some speculation and hype on that. And obviously the news today, that wasn't on the wires, but that was posted in the sticky posts on iHub. Take it away, Siffy. Show us what that chart's all about.
Our favorite type. No revenues, just speculation. Gotta love it. Well, let's speculate here. You can see this thing. We pulled up a weekly because the daily was just like, I don't know what I was looking at. It was like Zombieville. Even this is pretty zombie, but she's woken back up, and there's a couple positive things going on here besides that she went up 50% today and actually came back alive from quad 1. You don't see that happen a lot, but it happened. But what's cool is you can look back when she hit 0008 and 0007 back in 2011. She could not get through that 50, and then she tried like 3 or 4 more times after that. Well, she tried last week, she couldn't do it, and you can see this week she's done it. She's above it. Now, obviously, the week's not over. You can see today they went ahead and stacked it right at that 0.0006, right at last week's high. So that's positive. I'd like to see that hold the rest of the week, and not only hold that 50 MA, or I mean the 100 MA, but let's go ahead and hold last week's. Let's close higher than last week's candle, which is at looks like 0.006 as well. I also want to see that 20 MA come up through that 50 and that 100. It's still below it. When that happens, then we know it's on. That's one thing we always look at. Of course, you got that 200 all the way up at 0.0031. Your RSI, I like the way it's looking. It's above the overlay and the midpoint, which is what we like to see. It's at 61.53, and you can see she's had a hard time getting above that overlay, going all the way back to, like we said last time, in 2011, August, September, October. She fell below it, hasn't came above it and held it. The PPO is looking solid, coming through the 50 MA overlay. Your histogram is positive, and we're about ready to cross through it. I want to see it do that because you can see back, last year, 2011, just like the price per share hit that 100 MA, that PPO couldn't get up and travel up. You can see what she did. She fell down lower. Slow stow, it's above the 50 midpoint. It's through the overlay, but it looks like it's trying to head down. It's at 60.48. We want to see that scoot back up. That's just intraday, movement that changes as the tape moves forward. But yeah, you got that 100 MA, you got that 50, you got that 20, and you got last week's candle. And of course, if you look at a daily or 60 or a 5 or whatever it is that floats your boat, you'll find more supports. As for resistance, like I said, 0008, 0007, and you can look over all the way back in 2010. You got quad 9, 0011, 0014. So you got some targets to shoot for, and you got some supports to hold. So good stuff. MSVS, and it did hit the boom shakalaka scanner quite a few times this morning. So if nothing else, that gets me excited. We ready to wrap it, Sumo?
Oh, yeah. Great stuff. Awesome. Well, those of you tuned in, be sure to check out the morning show. We'll be starting it up 9 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, as always. It was a great job tonight. Love this new video setup. We're really running with it. It worked out all the kinks. It looks great. I'm sure everybody else is digging it, too. It's awesome. Good job with those financials, Haas. I'll tell you what, I'm not too good at looking at balance sheets and that sort of thing, and now as I'm able to see it while you're talking about it, it's really given me a whole new standpoint and a better perspective on things. Great job.
I mean, even if you can't, read the balance sheet all that well, which I just know, very basics, Cop knows more in-depth stuff, just those little things that you can keep an eye out for, get the most current share structure and some of those little details in the business operations, some type of reverse merger note that isn't out in the press yet. You can catch that early on, before other people find out about it. That's why I like reading them.
Yeah, that's awesome. Outstanding. Really digging this setup here, and we're going to have a lot of fun playing with this on future shows. So be sure to check us out again tomorrow night, tomorrow morning. You know how we roll. STT Radio, STT Live, Stock Traders Talk. We're out.
Aloha.
Mahalo.
Thank you for listening to Stock Traders Talk Radio. All views and topics talked about on Stock Traders Talk Radio is solely for entertainment purposes. We are not professional financial advisors and always recommend you seek the advice of a professional financial advisor. Never invest in any stock featured on our show unless you can afford to lose your entire investment. The information contained on our show is based on sources which we believe to be reliable, but is not guaranteed by us as being accurate, and might not be a complete statement or summary of the available data. Stock Traders Talk Radio advises that the investments in companies profiled are commonly considered to be high risk, and use of the information provided is at the investor's sole risk. Thank you for listening to Stock Traders Talk Radio.